It is Women's History Month, and to mark it, we are introducing you to a Connecticut woman who's making history. Democrat Maryam Khan, a native of Pakistan, won a special election a few weeks ago to become a state representative for Hartford and Windsor, and she is the first Muslim to serve in the Connecticut House of Representatives. First of all, congratulations. Do you see yourself as this historic trailblazer?
I think I see this as just a great opportunity to be one of the first, but also to just, I take that responsibility with honor, and I think, it's very important that I do my best so I can withhold that.
Tell me about your journey from Pakistan to Hartford.
So I was born in Pakistan. I moved to the United States as a 5-year-old. To New York City, and then I was there for about 5 years, and my parents after that chose Windsor, Connecticut, out of all places in the world to bring
no
here.
Connections, they just
no
chose
connections, no family here, nothing, and we've been in Connecticut ever since. And so I was in Windsor most of my life. I graduated Windsor High School, and then later moved to Manchester and brought my family back here to raise my kids now in Windsor.
Do you have any political idols, let's say, people that you looked up to over the years who may have inspired you, role models?
I actually, before I got into politics, I wasn't, inspired by anyone specifically, but Bernie Sanders probably inspired me to run first after his initial run for office.
If we go back to Pakistan, Benazir Bhutto was a trailblazer. Do you remember her at all when you were a child?
I do remember her a little bit. So I have a daughter who's 14 who's like a historical nerd. She loves everything about everything. Yeah, so she's really even my outfit. She was like, you should wear Benazir Bhutto outfit. You should wear this and that. So yes, absolutely, I do remember her.
Because you look across the world, I mean, there are some places where women can't get elected. Do you see yourself as a role model to other young women?
Yeah, so when I look at Muslim countries, there are a lot of Muslim elected officials in these countries, but here in America, I think we grow up and we don't see Muslim women in politics or in leadership roles, so it's a little challenging to see yourself in those roles. So I'm glad that I'm able to be that for other girls. I've been a mentor for Muslim girls for a long time, and I teach as well, so not just Muslim students, but any student that doesn't see that they can see themselves in a place like this, I'm hoping that can see that through me.
Why do you think more Muslim women don't go into politics in the United States?
I think it's just, they might not know the way. I got first involved into local politics because people invited me, and if no one had invited me, I wouldn't have known how a lot of the local Board of Eds and stuff of that nature worked. And so I think, it takes a lot of the community building, being involved in the community, and then people inviting you to come in.
What do you hope to accomplish in this room?
I hope to just be a voice for my community, to be able to champion issues that, are important to them. I know my district education is very crucial to people, that the state of our schools be in tip-top shape, and then also making sure we support our teachers in this time of severe teacher loss.
The races for Congress are heating up, and today we are looking at the 1st district race. Democrat John Larson is running for a 13th term, but this year he's being challenged from within his own party. And joining us now is that candidate, Wad Harazi. And Mr. Harazi, thanks so much for being with us here today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So, Congressman Larson's been in for a while. What made you decide to challenge him?
Yeah, so this is bigger than myself, Representative Larson. I think that there are so many crises facing our country, our district, and our state that it's time to have a renewed sense of urgency and a dialogue within the Democratic Party about what are we trying to do to address the structural challenges of our era and of our day. And as Einstein told us, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So I think it's time to try something new.
Do you believe he's part of the problem?
I believe that the system isn't responding as a whole to the structural challenges of our day. We have $1.7 trillion of student debt crushing my generation. We continue to see gun violence killing and slaughtering so many of our children and families. So there are challenges, I think, that are bigger than any one person. And unfortunately, the corporate money is the biggest issue to me. And Representative Larson is the 5th highest recipient of corporate PAC money out of all the House Democrats.
You worked for Senator Murphy. When you told him you were going to challenge Congressman Larson, what did he say?
I think he was a little surprised. Like most people within the establishment, they're not exactly thrilled with sometimes challenges within the party, but Senator Murphy is somebody I admire, and he told me that he does not believe primaries that anyone should stop a primary, that this is the heartbeat of democracy, and that we should all welcome this debate within the party. And so I was encouraged by his willingness to kind of allow this to happen and not try to kind of be a roadblock or an impediment of any sort.
Do you believe he was encouraging you to run?
I don't know if I would go as far as encouraging me specifically to challenge Representative Larson, but I think he was absolutely somebody who believes in primaries being a way to strengthen our party and strengthen this country.
There are some who have called you the AOC of Connecticut. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, of course, challenged a longtime congressman and won. Do you see yourself as that kind of person?
So I see that there's a wave of people running for Congress who typically haven't, I guess, fit the conventional mold. Some are younger, some are older. We see Representative Bowman, Cori Bush, the Justice Democrats, and I do see myself following a similar path, which is I want to make our country and our party stronger.
Specifically, is there something he's done or something he's voted for that you would have done differently?
Yeah, so I think the corporate money undergirds a lot of the other challenges, but absolutely. For instance, he voted to deregulate Wall Street. That was one of the most consequential bills for my generation in our state. So I would have taken a different approach. I don't think that repealing Glass-Steagall was a good idea. It's what precipitated the crash of 2008 and the Great Recession. So that's just one example, but a hugely consequential one. Also, he's voted to fund the Iraq War.
Muad Harezi, he is a candidate for the 1st District in Congress. All right.
Thanks, Dennis.
We thank you for being with us here today.
My pleasure.
Taking a look back at the first ever St. Patrick's Day Parade in New Haven. Plus, in this week's Positive Vibes, how local kids are trying to bring light to students in Ukraine. And we invite you to connect with us here on This Week in Connecticut. You can send us an email. The address is right here, thisweek@WTNH.com. You can also connect with me on social media, as many of you do, and I really, really appreciate your comments on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. This Week in Connecticut will be right back.